How many of y'all have ever been to Finland? Well, I haven't, but interestingly enough, they have one of the most effective and successful school systems within all of the countries combined. Today, I will argue that our education system in the United States is in fact broken. To get into more detail about how our education system is broken, I will be going over 3 main points. The first point is to tell you about what is wrong with our education system in the US. The second main point is to go over the comparison between Finland's education system and then the US education system. The third and final point is to go over how we can change our education system. First, let's look at what is wrong with our education system today in the United States. Our country's school system was set up in the late 1800s and early 1900s to meet our industrial economy. The schools believed in a model of education where one mold fits all, and that's not necessarily the correct way to handle things because each child has a different mindset. Imagine if a doctor gave a patient the same medication across the world, every single patient. Now that would be catastrophic. Because of its industrial roots, our school system considered some subjects, math, reading, and science, to be useful and important, while others, music, art, and drama, useless and unimportant. While the former subjects certainly are important, the latter are no less important. Now let's move into a comparison between the US education system and Finland's way of teaching. Finland is constantly coming out on top of the international ranking for education. And why? Better teachers, better class times, and a better overall way of doing things. Only 10% of teachers are accepted, so there is no such thing as a bad teacher there. The teachers usually have a 15-minute break in between classes to get more ready for each individual class. And the teachers are respected there versus in the United States. The teachers are stretched between classes and they're constantly rushed and they just don't have as much respect as the teachers in Finland. A lot of the teachers here in the US just have a really hard time getting the students to pay attention and things like that, and it just kind of overall comes down to not having enough time. The students don't start school until age 7 when they are developmentally ready versus 5 or 6 in the United States. Students only have 3 to 4 classes a day to focus on, unlike 6 to 8 in the United States, which is just a lot of subjects to fit in one day. 66% of students go to college in Finland and 93% graduate, which is super high compared to the US. The third and final point that I'll be bringing up is to show you that the US education system is broken, and I want to show you how we should fix it. Education is not a one-all-fits-all process. It's not a one-size-fits-all process. Some students learn best with different settings, like with a teacher, or they like to find it out themselves. This also depends on the subject as well. Some students who learn better alone in one subject, they might be better in a small group in another subject. There are many ways to learn different subjects and concepts, and I think we should explore different ways of teaching and not always just a standard in front of a class type teaching. Students do not all learn at the same pace. Some students may require more time than others to assimilate a particular subject. The opposite can be true for a different subject. So a student could be really slow in learning reading and really fast in learning science. So they might need more time between subjects. Classes need to engage and challenge all students, but at the same time allow for students to advance at a comfortable pace. Tests do not reflect proficiency. It is essential to evaluate the proficiency of students on subjects. The purpose of an evaluation is to identify areas of weaknesses so students can improve in these areas. However, in many cases, tests do not simply reflect student proficiency. When standardized testing are involved, teachers may focus on teaching what will be on the test. I have my own experience with this, as do I'm sure many of you, that we learned with tax tests, and this is going to be on the tax test every 5 seconds in class. So the teachers tend to focus on what will be on the test instead of focusing on making the students proficient. So today you have learned what's wrong with our education system and how Finland does schooling better than we do, and how we need to change our way of doing things so that our future education system is not so broken. I hope you've learned a lot about our education system, and thank you for watching.